Kalal Wahawalla Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Rakakudash. Belongs to the apostles and elders of great millstone that rule and teach well. Peace and salutations to the brothers on the four corners of this earth, pushing this word in truth, also in sincerity. But I'm going to with another short video. Alright, this article comes from Global Times. I posted this in the group chat. I thought it was interesting. Alright, so it says Chinese delegate urges U.S. to promptly settle outstanding contributions as U.S. demands readjustment of NPT funding sharing mechanism. Right, it says during the ongoing 11th review conference of the parties to the Treaty on Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons. Hold on, let me get that word proliferation because I don't know what the fuck that shit means. Alright, let's see what we see in here. Proliferation. Alright, it says rapid increase in the number or amount of something. Okay. Alright, let me go back to where the article was. Alright. Okay, so I want to go back in the group chat for the article. Alright, lovely. Alright, so we're going back down here. It says during the ongoing 11th review conference on the parties to the Treaty on Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, NPT, right? Which means what? The rapid increase of something, right? So the non-rapid increase of nuclear weapons. At the United Nations headquarters in New York on Monday local time, a U.S. delegate challenged the treaty's funding sharing mechanism. In response, Chinese delegate Sun Zhaobo, I suppose, Director General of the Department of Arms Control of the Foreign Ministry of China, that is a mouthful, urged the U.S. to fulfill its international obligations and promptly settle the outstanding contributions owed for the current review conference, the CCTV news reported on Tuesday. A U.S. representative claimed on Monday local time that the existing NPT financing formula is outdated and that although China has experienced extraordinary economic growth over the past 3 decades, it contributes only 0.91%. He called for a readjustment of the contribution shares of nuclear weapon states, according to CCTV News. In response, Sun, who was in attendance, pointed out that it is inappropriate to use unpaid dues as leverage to pressure others into adjusting membership fees, according to the media report. China has consistently paid its contributions for treaty review conferences and related meetings on time and in full. China urges the U.S. to fulfill its international obligations and promptly settle the outstanding contributions owed to the current review conference, Sun said per CCTV News. Sun pointed out that the U.S. and other countries' proposal to adjust the treaty's cost-sharing ratio without prior consultation with other signatory states is detrimental to building consensus among all parties. The Chinese side believes that the discussions regarding the calculation of treaty contributions should be conducted on the basis of consensus, fairness, and reasonableness. As the issue involves numerous technical details, it is also necessary to respect the domestic budgetary decision-making processes of individual countries, he continued. Given the heavy agenda of this review conference, the Chinese side suggests granting state parties additional time to consult on the issue of assessed contributions unproposed. The U.S. has long been in arrears regarding its dues to various international organizations, according to media reports. As of early February, the U.S. had accumulated arrears to the UN covering the regular budget as well as funding for peacekeeping operations and UN tribunals totaling approximately 4.6 billion, according to media reports. Additionally, the US has not made good on its assessed contributions for the past 2 years, effectively leaving the WHO, World Health Organization, with a bill roughly $278 million, US media outlet NPR reported in January. So that is 4.6. That's a lot of money. Right? So that was roughly 4.8 billion in total that they own to their own. Look at that. That they're not even paying their own. Alright? No, let me be real. How the hell you could pay your own when you always in debt? The back end of your money is debt. So let me be real. Oh, you know what I mean? Habakkuk 2 and verse 6. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? Look what he doing to Venezuela. How much millions of barrels of oil he take from Venezuela? All right, for one example. And to him that leadeth himself with thick clay. All right, that thick clay there what represents debt. You're leading, you're borrowing, you're taking, saying, yeah, I go pay you. You know what I mean? You join our group, ting, you know, well, all right, in this group, brother, you have to pay X amount, whatever. Yeah, sure, no problem. You ain't fucking paying. Now you in debt, right? $2.8 billion. Four, so like, yeah, 4.8. You're wrong with off 3 because, I mean, it's Kenny, so they must be scaled back the numbers. You're wrong with off 3, should that. Right? So, yeah, roughly 3 billion. In debt to what? To his own. Owing his own. You know? With no signs of what? Of pain and want to call the shots. That in it, you see when you understand, when you're a man or you understand what pride is and what it looks like, right? You understand how exactly it comes about. You sure Esau Edom full of it? You sure Biden was accurate in his statement when he said this is a nation of pride? Damn, spot on. Because that prideful thing, you is the fucking, you, everybody else paying you owing. You supposedly a so-called superpower, right? And you owing, everybody paying on time, promptly, exact amounts, nobody owing, just you. Just you. But you fight, how much was you what, I think it's 5 years since this administration in power. Look at that. But you have money to pay dues to your own. It's the UN, the United Nations. You understand? You have money to contribute to pitching. You have money to go over there and fight war. And now we are the small to say what they're running low on ammo. Right? Come on. It's good. Must be good. Only bombing schools and only bombing shelters, bro. Only committing fucking war crimes. Crimes against humanity, and you know what? Nobody's stopping all there. Alright, nobody has nothing to say. Every time somebody tries to say something, all you want to bully them. Like pride. There's only pride all this, so. Alright. Move on to my next precept here. James 5 and 3. As I said, that's short video, so I reading much precepts. Well, I'm going straight to the point rather than put it like that. In the chapters and verses. James 5 and 3. It says, your gold and silver is conquered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Right? It say what? The rust of them shall be a witness against you. What rust is? Rust is a decaying, worthless. In a sense, it's fucking worthless. Would you go and buy something if it rusted? No. What you have to do? You have to melt down the iron or scrape off or remove the rusted part, fix back the part or whatever it is, and you know what I mean, patch it up, paint it back, make it look uniform. Right? So rust is was something worthless. In a sense, yeah. Now what it's saying, your gold and silver is cankered, meaning a disease, not good. It fucking tainted, right? And the rust of them shall be a witness. Yeah, because it worthless. Gold and silver, it's not literal gold and silver they're talking about this. What your money, cash, your bread, it worthless. Fucking worthless is IOU. It backed by what? Nothing, nil, nada, naught, right? Nothing. Money worthless, and that's why they seek to change the fucking whole runnings of the system, and pay toward digital so they could control, and it going to be run by who? If you think it will be run by some independent organization, my guy, you are lost in the sauce. It's gonna be run by them, by the leads, the 1%ers, the small hatters. You wait, what? He posts what? Against who? Anti-Semitic, this, that, the other. Alright, strike your fucking bank account. Not whole month. We care what you do. Can't pay your car note, can't pay your bills, can't go to the grocery. You will suffer for this month. Dad, should I never say that? Should I never do that? Should I never post a picture with this person? Should I never like this comment? Share this post? You know? That is what the whole censorship of the internet is about as well, along with the famine of the world. So here we seeing it all what coming together. We seeing the bullshit coming together. Alright? Jeremiah 51 and verse 9. It says what? We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country, yeah? He own country, for judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Now everybody, even the fucking EU don't want nothing to do with them. Is NATO nations where you say what? All they had to pay for we protection, and then Europe and Britain, and they was like, hey, we have to fend for ourselves. We have to oh gosh, I forgot the term, but I did a video on it where they cutting public funding to rearm the military, buy more modern weapons and so on and so forth. Because why? Saying what? You don't want to support we well, you know what I mean? Forget you. We gotta be self, whatever we have to do. Cutting education, healthcare, that what the word mean when you cut I forgot the word shit. Nevertheless, right, there's a word that it basically means they cutting funding, public funding, like these things now, public amenities, health, education, infrastructure, whatever it is, and they're using that money to rearm the army and basically, you know what I mean, revamp it. For lack of a better word, I forget the flicker. Something Asian or something like that. Revitalization, that is not the word. I don't know why I think about that, but then anybody does. Right? Let's go everyone into his own country. So what them going home and dealing with home. F you. We had to pay you all of a sudden to protect who? We? No, brother. You go so with that BS. We'll do it ourselves. But you want to come in a meeting and tell people, hey, them only paying X amount, and them have all this. Them records saying they have all this, so how come them paying this a little bit? And you can't even pay from 2 years ago, bro. You owe me from 2 years, brother. What about that? Talk about that. You know what I mean? So we seen Esau Edom for who he is, what he is. The man hasn't been revealed. You know? And that is just what it is. That is all it is. The man hasn't been revealed once again. You know? Anyway, I hope this was edifying. I hope it's sparked for thought among the I'm watching and listening to the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Rakakodash. Until next time, Shalom.